Well, good morning. This is your science video for Friday, April 10th already. Friday, April 10th. And we are going to be reading today, you'll be reading today about the Earth and the Moon and the same type of things. They're totally talking about solar eclipses, Project Apollo, those type of things. But I wanted to help you a little bit in doing some of these charts that we have on page, because you have 4 pages to do. So we're going to do these two together, 179 and 180. And let's go ahead and get that page out. Now, I'm going to go through these quickly, so you want to make sure that you're pausing if you need to. What I'll do is I'll go down first, the known as, the two that are written there already, but we'll go to each one. So we'll start with Mercury, and we'll do those down the columns, okay? And then we'll add in the other information as we go. But you can always pause, so don't say, "You're going too fast, Mr. Jones," because I can't hear you anyway because it's recorded. But also because you can always stop it and write down what you need to write and then continue on, and you can always rewind and all that stuff. So, all right, so the first one is Mercury, which is known as the planet closest to the sun. Why? Because it is the planet closest to the sun. Venus is known as the morning star or the evening star, and usually you'll see Venus right close to the moon when there's a full moon, or close to a full moon. You'll see Venus very close to it, the brightest star that's there. Earth known as home sweet home, and then Mars is called the red planet. All right, and then for the number of days of rotation, Earth time. So in other words, a period of rotation. So it takes Mercury to, for one Earth day to rotate, or it takes 59 Earth days to rotate once for Mercury. Okay, so Mercury rotates one time in 59 Earth days. All right, Venus rotates one time in 243 days. So every 243 days, Venus rotates once. And, of course, Earth rotates one time in one day. It rotates one day in one time. And then Mars is 24 and a half hours. So they're just about like Earth is, 24 and a half hours. We are 24 hours, just a smidge above that, actually. Now, as far as come on in. Sorry about that. Mrs. Haynes came in to give me something. But anyway, continuing on. And so the time it takes Mercury to go around the sun is 88 days. For Venus, it's 224.7 days. For Earth, 365 and 1/4 days. That's why we have a leap year every 4 days. But every 100 years, we don't have a leap year or a leap day added because it's only truly, it's not quite 1/4. So, or it's a little bit over 1/4. But we won't. But in 100 years, then it makes up that time, and so we're good. In Mars, 687 days it takes. Now, for unique facts, I'm going to read these fast. So remember what I said. You can pause it. For Mercury, closest planet to the sun, the smallest planet in size, weak gravitational field that cannot hold on to atmosphere. So there's no atmosphere on Mercury. And then it has the shortest year in the solar system. All right, for Venus, it's the second planet from the sun. It's the brightest object in the morning and evening skies. It's the closest planet to Earth. It's covered with thick cloud cover. And it is a retrograde rotation. In other words, it rotates a different direction. We rotate, if you're looking at it straight up, we rotate from basically, I don't know how to describe it, but the sun rises in the east. In Venus, it rises in the west. Okay. For Earth, it's the third planet from the sun, only planet on which man survives in its natural state. Water exists in all liquid state, so water exists in liquid form. Gravity holds the atmosphere in place, and it has one natural satellite we know as the moon. Mars, fourth planet from the sun, iron oxide in its soil, planet most like Earth, dry like a desert, and experiences seasons because of its tilt. It has a tilt like the Earth does, 23.5 degrees. Now Jupiter, going down the known as from the backside of that paper, it is the largest planet. Saturn is the ringed planet. Uranus is the planet that rotates sideways. Remember I was telling you about that one. That one's an interesting one. And then Neptune is the blue planet. Period of rotation for Jupiter, 10. It goes like this, 10, 11, 17, and 16. 11 for Saturn, 17 for Uranus, and 16 for Neptune. That's how many hours it is. It rotates pretty fast then, much faster than the Earth does. Each of their days is only 10 hours, and it rotates around one time. The period of revolution, the time it takes to go around the sun, 12 years for Jupiter, 30 for Saturn, 84 for Uranus, and 165 for Neptune. So that's a pretty good time there. And then quickly, unique facts for Jupiter. It's fifth planet from the sun, largest planet. Most notable feature is a great red spot. The surface is an ocean of liquefied gases. Pretty interesting place to be. Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun, second largest planet, highly visible rings, has more known moons than any other planet. Then Uranus, seventh planet from the sun, rotates on its side, has an atmosphere of poisonous methane gas, is a blue-green color, and has long periods of darkness and light. And then Neptune, the last thing there, is eighth planet from the sun, most I'm trying to see what it says. Oh, most violent weather on that planet, on Neptune. And then a great dark spot there, and then thick cloud cover of methane gas. So that's where we are. That's what you have, and so you have those 2 pages filled out. So 179, 180 is done, unless you are one of those ones that decided you didn't want to watch the video, and then you have to do a study guide. So make sure you do that study guide. We will have a quiz coming up next week shortly, and then probably a test as well. But other than that, have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.